What's up, everybody? You're tuned in to another episode of Off the Yard. You know, one night I get this call. It's one of them calls that you can't uncall. It's one of them calls that change your life forever. Today we're going to talk about it. Gladiator game, gladiator game, gladiator game. I'm Big Lance, tuned in to all the gladiator game, gladiator game, gladiator game. I'm Big Lance. I want to start this video off by saying, first and foremost, rest in peace, Josh. I believe his name was Josh. Rascal. From the homie Hangout. Life taken too soon. No matter how it's taken, it was taken. He was a fellow YouTuber, fellow prison genre YouTuber, and took his own life. Life got too much for him to bear. It's unfortunate. He had a good channel, probably a little future in this. You will be missed. Prayers to your family. Rest in peace. I was a kid, going to high school, skateboarding. I was really into skateboarding when I was growing up, man. Like, I was really good at it. Might have had a future with it. Was looked at by a couple of different places, little stores and shops, want to sponsor kids that was in the neighborhood, whatever, you know. We moved to a little city called Fredericksburg. And it was a culture shock for me. You know, a lot of white kids was here, a lot of rich white kids. I wasn't used to it. Not where I'm from. But, you know, we persevere. No matter what we go through in life, man, we always got to just kind of, you know, get in line with what's going on around you. It's cool, whatever. Some cool kids I met. A lot of these kids played soccer. With the cool kids, the it kids, or whatever, right? I messed around with it a little bit, wasn't really my thing. I like football, boxing. There was this kid, man, named Gary Kemp. And Gary Kemp comes from a very well-to-do, wealthy family. Was really good at soccer, man. Really good at soccer, man. He really enjoyed soccer. He really enjoyed drugs, too, though. I remember I came to school, and all of us was growing dreadlocks back then. All the white kids were growing dreadlocks, right? And he comes to school one day, and he had a bunch of gum in his hair, and like just weird, like it was weird, man. A bunch of stuff sticking all. I was like, "What do you got going on?" He's dreading it up. Dread it up. I don't know about that, dog. You got gum in your hair. It's weird. But hey, chicks seem to like it, man. The grungier you were back then in the 90s, the more popular you were. So anyway, Gary used to hang out downtown. And he would go down there to near this place called the Grapevine, this little bar, and it used to be these little apartments. And, you know, homeless people used to go over there and get flats and shit like that, whatever, for the night. Or, you know, they lived in like these little dumps back there. Well, he used to run around with this old dude named Vernon Cutshaw. Vernon was a weird dude, man. I didn't like him. I didn't understand why a dude in his 30s or 40s, or however old he was running around with a bunch of high school kids. I'm a high school kid. I didn't understand it back then. Of course, I understand it now. Stayed away from Vernon, man. He was a homeless drug addict. There's no reason for me to be around that dude, you know? A grown homeless drug addict hanging around kids. It's weird. Gary stayed over there. Always hung out over there, right? Well, I remember one night, I get a phone call. It's Gary. What's up, dude? Calls me at my house. We didn't have cell phones back then. Calls me at my house. I'm like, what's up, dude? What's up? He said, Lance, I need some help. I messed up. I said, what did you do, bro? He said, come down to the spot. I go down there where he said to go. And he walks me into this room. And there's Vernon. He's beaten to death with a lead pipe. And on the wall, he's taken his blood and written Demon Warped on the wall. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was some song or something. I don't know what he had going on, but he was... I don't know, man. I left. I didn't even say nothing. I just left, bro. I didn't ask him if he did it. I didn't ask him nothing. He just showed it to me, looked at me, and I rolled out. Now, a lot of people say, you should call the cops. Call police. Yeah, maybe. Or not. You know? Gary would soon be arrested for such a charge. Murder in the first degree. They would haul all the kids in, try to get them to make statements. Did Gary tell you he did it? I got locked up in the juvie while he's going to trial. They put him in my cell for a brief time before they ended up charging him as an adult. I told him the minute they put him in there, I said, dude, listen, this ain't my first time. This ain't my first rodeo. I promise you they're listening on that speaker in there. Don't tell me nothing. Don't say nothing about your case. We don't talk about the case. That's all they want to do is talk about that case. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. Gary would soon be charged as an adult at 17. Sent to jail. Starts going to trial. He gets a high-profile lawyer named Ben Woodbridge at the time. Ben Woodbridge was the top dog, man. His parents had to come up with a lot of money for Ben Woodbridge. Probably almost made him go broke. Throughout the trial, they would try to get people to testify against Gary. I wouldn't testify against Gary. I don't testify against nobody. I didn't know if he killed him. He didn't tell me he killed him. He didn't say I killed him. He just showed me. So really, in reality, I didn't really have nothing to say. I was threatened with obstruction, all types of things. Gary would eventually be convicted and sent to prison. He would receive 5 years. 5 years. Less time than I got for a bar fight. Money is a great thing. It's a powerful thing. Money is a powerful thing. He was sent to Southampton receiving, and he became a cadre, which means he worked there. He never really went to prison. That's where he stayed. He stayed at Southampton receiving as like a worker, kitchen worker or something. Had his own little cell. Came home. OD'd and died. I would say a year or so later, 2 years later, something like that. A couple years later. I don't know. It was a while. But let's backtrack. Let's go to the why. Why did he do this? Why would a young man, he's looking at maybe a soccer scholarship. Comes from money. And decides to throw his life away. Well, drugs are a major part of it. But the second part of it was that this guy, Vernon, was giving these kids drugs and touching them, doing things to them, whatever. So Gary woke up in the middle of such an incident and lost his shit. I guess it really don't matter where you come from, how much money you got, how much money your parents got, how smart you are. There's always going to be a predator that's going to prey on young minds and young souls. Vernon Cutshaw deserved what he got, in my opinion. Maybe the court saw it the same way, because it came out in court. I'm sure that was hard for Gary to deal with later on, you know? Because, I mean, shit, he was 16, 17 when this was happening. It's not like he was a little kid. That being said, how would you deal with it? Leave it in the comments. Let me know. Because at the end of the day, we all know a Gary Kemp. At the end of the day, there's always going to be a Vernon Cutshaw. Much love to the Gladiator gang. Salute to all the A1s from day one. And as always, stay up, stay out, stay sucker free, baby. Let's go.